Ladies and gentlemen and ladies and gents, have y'all heard of The Fifth Element? Man, that Bruce Willis movie was off the, man, that's Bruce Willis. Fifth Element. Well, this video is dedicated to Bruce Willis. His wife has just announced that because of his condition with aphasia, that she had to move him out of their family home. Aphasia is not easy to deal with. Not for family members, but if you're a person with aphasia, such as myself, especially with retrograde amnesia, aphasia is very unpleasant. Let me just say that. Okay? I'm very familiar with what Mr. Willis is going through. I'm at the beginning stage, but I've been at the beginning stage for 30 years now. I am grateful to not be to the point to where I need round-the-clock care like he does. That's why he can't be in the family home anymore, because he needs round-the-clock care. Sorry. It's not fun. So, look, not to put you guys on a bad tip, okay? We need to explain something to you that you're not aware of. I told all of you, I'm a constitutionalist. I study law. I don't talk about law that I don't know about. I don't make up stuff that I don't know about. So let's talk about something I know about and I've known about for years. I told you how they try to copy scripture. They try to copy the Bible. Let's prove to you that this was the case. Are you familiar with this? Now, remember I talked about the Fifth Element? Well, we're going to talk about the Fifth Amendment, which is the fifth element of the Constitution. So that's why I said we're dedicating this to Bruce Willis in the Fifth Element, to the fifth element of the Constitution, the Fifth Amendment. Yay, he's so funny, y'all. Anywho. Oh, and Hudson Hawk. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think I might go and take a look at Hudson Hawk. That'll be my Saturday night movie this week. It's Hudson Hawk. It won't let me scroll down, so we're going to do it that way. Going to play with me. It didn't give me the option of scrolling down. All right. Circumvention of this protocol. Yes, I am fully familiar with the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America. Okay, double jeopardy, the right against self-incrimination, the due process, historical origins. Let's tell you one thing that he did not. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Any person B. Same offense twice, deputy of life, liberty, shall be compelled in a criminal case to be a witness against themselves or be deprived of life, liberty, or due process of law without blah, 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 just compensation. Okay? Now watch this. Wake up. What about the Sixth Amendment? Stop listening. What do these two sections have in common? We just put in right not to be a witness against yourself, so your testimony can't be used against you, even in a court of law. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Nor shall any person be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. They cannot compel you. You can speak whenever you want. You have the freedom of speech. You're not testifying. You can only be compelled if you volunteer the information under oath. Sixth Amendment says, be informed of the nature of the cause, the nature and cause of the accusation. Police officers must inform you of why they stopped you. We'll get to that later. Be confronted with witnesses against him. In criminal proceedings in the current era, the courts are aware that there must be at least 2 witnesses against an individual in order for them to have jurisdiction to prosecute the individual. Oftentimes, the courts have allowed only a single witness, most times a police officer, to testify as to the criminality or criminal conduct of an individual. This is unconstitutional, this is illegal. This is not permitted in law. The phrase is witnesses, not witness. There must be at least 2 witnesses against an individual, and the courts cannot compel a person to be a witness against themselves, which makes most criminal proceedings unlawful in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, they call you into court. There are no witnesses against you. They'll have a police officer. The police officer will testify as to his knowledge of blah, 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 and the courts will go by that testimony. That's one witness. There is no other witness there. Oh, yes, there is. You. You are the other witness. Just like there's another woman, you're the other witness. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, let's do that first. In all criminal prosecution, the accused shall enjoy the right to be confronted with witnesses against themselves, nor shall a person be compelled in any criminal matter to be a witness against themselves. The Sixth Amendment explicitly guarantees confrontation with witnesses, plural, not a witness. The plain language, and they must go by the plain language unless something else is indicated, presumes more than one adverse party giving first-hand testimony. People keep asking, where's the accused? The damaged injury, the injured party. Stop that. Stop that. Ladies and gentlemen, there has to have at least 2 witnesses. They don't bring 2 witnesses, demand an immediate dismissal. Say, don't lie to me. Sixth Amendment says witnesses, does not say witness. If it meant only one, it would have said only one. But it said witnesses twice. Go back and read it. You have the right to call witnesses in your favor, they have the right to call witnesses against you. Witnesses, too. When a court permits give me 1 second. I apologize for that. When a court permits a conviction based solely on the testimony of one government agent, particularly those where the agent is both the arresting officer and the primary complainant, the process fails to satisfy the Sixth Amendment requirement for multiple witnesses, violates the Fifth Amendment prohibition against self-incrimination if the defendant is the only other material party. Because that's what they use. Wake up. The police take fingerprints and they take photos. And the prosecution produces the fingerprints and photos as evidence in the case. As a matter of fact, that's the first leg of evidence in any criminal prosecution is the fingerprints and photo of the defendant. That goes to identify the defendant, i.e. evidence against the defendant. Stop listening. Compelling a person to take fingerprints, well, the law says you cannot be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against yourself, but they compel you to take your fingerprints and photo, tell you that it is mandatory. They'll even threaten you. They will even penalize you for failing to provide fingerprints. My bad. I didn't know they could do that. Chain of inadmissible evidence from unlawful self-witnessing. He's saying you should be saying there's the chain of custody of that evidence is fraudulent. That was through compelled performance. You can't do that. It has to be voluntary consent. They said they need to take my fingerprints. I told them, you can't take that. That's my property. They said, oh, no, you're going to give that to us. And I'm like, but you can't compel me to get it. Oh, yes, we can, they said. And so I under threat, I went and did it. But you can't use that. The law says, no, you can't. Got some other evidence? Because it's the forbidden fruit doctrine. Got that poisonous fruit in your hand? Get that out your hand. Everything else that touched your hands from the point you picked it up is inadmissible. Ladies and gentlemen, the law requires for anyone to prosecute you for anything. I don't care if it's a state agency. They want to say you did something, claim you did something. There must be 2 witnesses. 2 witnesses. Go back and reread the 5th and 6th Amendment. Combine them together. Again, the 5th element, can't get around that. No one may be held. No one may be held to answer, period. 6th Amendment says witnesses plural, not witness. Can I get a witness? Okay, it don't say that. Okay? Y'all need to learn the law. I know, but y'all, no, you didn't. Because if you knew it, you would have been shouting it to your friends who you're seeing getting arrested and having a police officer testify against them that they witnessed something. Police officer can't be the arresting officer and the sole witness. Impossible. Y'all really do need to learn the law. Okay, hey, gotta go. Y'all take care. Just tell everybody you got this from the law, not from nobody else. Didn't get it from EeoN and nobody. You got it. You read the law yourself. Okay? Take care.